So today I am at Appomattox Courthouse National Park, where the surrender took place in 1865 on April, I think it was April 9th. So right now I'm just outside the park. Here on Sunday, April 9th, 1865, after 4 years of heroic struggle in defense of principles believed fundamental to the existence of our government, Lee surrendered 9,000 men, the remnant of an army still unconquered in spirit. So they had fled Richmond and then Petersburg, being chased by the Union Army. And they were on their way to North Carolina, or they were on their way to meet up with soldiers, reinforcements from North Carolina. And they got stopped here and cut off at Appomattox. And here we have got, let's see, this is obviously stepping in honor, fallen heroes, Appomattox Daughters of the Confederacy. So we will go over here and see who is buried here. These are obviously Confederate soldiers. It says, dedicated to the memory of those who served in defense of the Confederate States of America. And we have got a row of graves here of Confederate soldiers. That died, I'm guessing, here at Appomattox. It's a little bit cloudy today, but it's nice out. Today is March 12th of 2020. And across the street there's another memorial. And we will walk over there and see what that is all about. This is always a nice place to come down and visit. Across the road here, and we're gonna head over there and see what that memorial is for. I think you call this an obelisk. There's lots of hiking trails here on the grounds. So this memorial says it was erected by C. Hunter Rain in loving memory of his father, Chase J. Rain, captain of Lee Battery, County A, Virginia Artillery, Confederate States of America, killed in the Battle of Mine Run, Virginia on November 30th, 1863. And the members of the family that are buried here. Oh, this is, I see it now. So here, these are the grave sites. Sarah N. Elza, wife of Bert W. Horner, born April 12th, 1828, and died in 1853. So she died before the Civil War started. I can't read these. I think it says died 1853 or 58. Infant son. When you go to these old grave sites, there's lots of babies that you see, children that died. I'm not sure who the father was here. Let's see, he was young, born December 20th, 1853, died October 5th, 1861. give you a view of looking around. The courthouse, Surrender Park, is right over there. So all the troops would have been camped here and amassed around this area. And I know there was a battle that took place here that was pretty brief. They tried to break through the Union lines to make an escape, and they they were stopped. And that's when Lee realized, like, well, we're all gonna die. And so he sent one of his officers to, I think it was 2 officers, sent them to dispatch them to Ulysses S. Grant, or to the Union Army, to let them know that he was willing to surrender. And then Ulysses S. Grant came here as quick as he could. He rode ahead of the troops to get here so that he could accept the surrender. I didn't see the sign until just now here at the Confederate graveyard. So here are buried 18 Confederate soldiers who died April 8th and 9th, 1865, in the closing days of the war between the states. The remains of one unknown Union soldier, and it looks like somebody shot this, found some years after the war, are interned beside the Confederate dead. About 500 yards east of the cemetery is the McLean house, where Lee and Grant signed the surrender terms. So I'm not sure where the Union soldiers buried, but we're gonna head over to the McLean house. Something cool about that is, I think his name was William McLean. I'll find out when I get over there. I can't remember his first name, but he, the first Battle of Bull Run took place near his home in Northern Virginia, and they took over his house to use it as the Confederate headquarters for the battle. And him and his family fled. And I know the house got hit by, I think the chimney got hit by cannonballs, or they got hit by artillery. So him and his family fled. They came here, moved here during the war, and then the surrender took place in his front parlor of his house here next to the courthouse. And you can kind of see over there the Appomattox. You can see the courthouse, some of the original buildings. So the Civil War started, how did they say that? It started on his farm and ended in his front parlor. So that's pretty interesting. You try to escape from the war, and you're at the first battle and end up being your house is used for the surrender. I always thought that was pretty weird. But we're gonna head over to the park over here, and we'll take a look at some of the buildings and get an idea of what's going on. All right, we are turning in here. Oops, yeah. Make sure I was in the right spot. So this is when you turn into the park. Let's see, we're gonna keep right. Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., so I'm here a little bit early. Parking, cars and buses. Park closes at 5. So this is what you're gonna see when you pull into the park. It's really pretty and peaceful here. So we'll grab a parking spot, and then we'll go look around and see what we can find. All right, so we're walking into the park here. Got these nice trails to walk on, and they want you to start over here at the courthouse, but I'm actually going to walk over here to the McLean house. I don't think you can go into it though unless you have a tour guide. But the interesting thing is, that's not the real house. The real house was after the Civil War. They took it down, and then they traveled with it. They took it around and then rebuilt it at different places so that people at the time could see the house that the Civil War ended at. So some of the bricks and furnishings are from the original house, but that's not really the original house. That's what it looked like. So we'll walk over there and take a look at that. And this is the little village here, which originally was a stagecoach stop. So let's walk over here and take a look at this. So I just stopped and talked to a park ranger. You can see him behind me there. And got some insight into some of these buildings. So the courthouse that you see right back there, that burned, he said, in the 1890s. So all the interior and everything is obviously rebuilt. To me, it looks like the bricks are too. I'll have to ask him again. I mean, it might be completely rebuilt. The McLean house, I said, had been taken down. So he just told me about 5,000 of the bricks on the outside of the building is from the original house. It's built on the exact same site. But and some of the furniture and stuff inside is the original. But the house has been rebuilt. So we'll take a look at it, because this is what it looked like. It's an identical replica. So you've got a well right here. And then to go into the house, you have to do it on a tour. They don't let you just go into it. Some of these other buildings over here we can go into. But this one is, this one you have to have a tour guide with you. And it says, McLean House, tours begin in the visitor center. So you have to go sign in with them. And of course you can't really see into the house much. So that's the room. This is the room where the surrender would have taken place. And I'm not sure if it's that desk that you see through there. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a desk right sitting there. That's where the surrender, that's where Lee sat. And then Ulysses S. Grant sat right over here. Let's see. In this room on Sunday afternoon, April 9th, 1865, Confederate General Robert E. Lee and Union Lieutenant General Ulysses S. Grant met and agreed upon the following terms for the surrender of the Army of Northern Virginia. And that's the terms. So, I like the front porch.